All right, very disappointing loss for the Padres tonight to the Dodgers in 10 innings. A lot of questionable decisions late there from Bob Melvin in the 10th inning. We're going to get into it. John and Jim with you on the wrap-up show. As always, we appreciate the support. So as you make your way in, subscribe, smash the like button for us. If you're a Padres fan, you got to subscribe. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Consider becoming a member by clicking the join button down below if you want the custom emojis and the badges. And also, if you want to make sure we get your comment here tonight, click the $sign in the chat box. We see the supers that have already rolled in. As you know, we get to all of the super chats over the course of the show. Jim, let's just start in the 10th inning. I mean, there's a lot to get into this game, but in the 10th inning, after a pass ball, they elect to pitch to Freddie Freeman with a runner at third and one out. I mean, Freddie Freeman, MVP candidate Freddie Freeman, is not a good candidate there for Steven Wilson, right? You'd prefer, you would think, first and third, set up a double play, and you're facing anyone but Freddie Freeman. Freeman comes through, and then bottom of the inning, it was kind of a bizarre turn of events. Grisham bats for himself. He's completely lost at the plate. He tries to bunt to score a run from third with one out. That doesn't work. He then strikes out looking again, and the Padres lose the game 1-0.
You said it on Twitter. I quote tweeted it and said the exact same thing. That was a poorly managed 10th inning by Bob Melvin. That was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
You, first off, don't walk Freddie Freeman with one out. I just don't understand that at all, because the guy behind him has 11, 12 double plays hit into this year, yet you elect to pitch to the eventual batting champion of the National League. Didn't make any sense. That was poor decision number one. Actually, he made three, I think. You pinch
what was
hit
the other one?
You pinch hit for Josh. You pinch hit Josh Bell.
Yeah, start the inning. You didn't need to do
start
that
the
there.
inning.
Yeah,
why are you doing that?
You could have saved Bell for Grisham's spot if you wanted to.
Or, I don't know, you have a guy on your bench that has 5 walk-offs this year, has a little bit of magic in late inning games, named Jorge Alfaro. Yeah. I'm not saying that maybe the numbers don't look good, but you don't think that you put Alfaro in that situation, he's going to have just a little bit of confidence there?
Right.
Because I do.
I'm with you.
So, Bob Melvin's in a lot of great stuff, but that was a really bad job by him. And then pinch hitting Trent Grisham for a Zokar. What the fuck?
Well, that was earlier. So that was not Grisham's first plate appearance. But you could have.
But still, even having you could have pitched it for Grisham. So not pitching for Grisham. What the fuck are you doing? Why is he in that situation?
When's the last time Grisham had a hit?
It doesn't matter. He is last guy on this bench. I would pitch in anybody else before him right now. Anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be. I really don't know if he's going to be on the playoff roster. Of course, they need to get to the playoffs. You can't throw away games, okay? So
he'll be on the playoff roster because they need outfielders.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, they do, but it's like you need to get to the playoffs. And this 10th inning, you need to treat this 10th inning like you're playing for your playoff lives, because that's how this works. I mean, this game is there for the taking. The Dodgers have not done anything with men in scoring position for 2 games. You can't lose a game when the Dodgers score 1 run in 10 innings. Like, you have to find a way. And they had chances. They had first and third in this game. After Machado singled, stole a base, they didn't send him on that base hit. They didn't score with 1 out in that inning. And then runner third with 1 out in the 10th inning, they don't score. And the difference between Dodgers and the Padres, by and large, is the Dodgers come through in clutch spots. And the Padres haven't to the same consistency. And this is a game you just should win. I'm sorry. Like, this series should be San Diego's. Dodgers are not playing for a lot. This is a very winnable game, and it was poorly managed in the 10th inning. Let's get to these supers. We're going to get to all the supers here over the course of the hour. Please get them in. We appreciate your support of the channel. What do you got?
Like, nothing really changed after tonight. You still magic number is 4, right?
Well, yeah, a lot changed because you didn't lower your magic number.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you didn't. It's fine, right? Magic number is still 4. You want to lower, but it can't go 4. Up. Can't go up. But at the same time, like, these type of decisions that Bob Melvin made in this game it's like a warm up for postseason. Because in postseason, it's going to be magnified by a million. And if this happened in a postseason game, holy shit. Then you got problems.
But this is, to your point, and you're 1,000% right. But you got problems today because this game needs to be managed like it's a postseason game. You know what happens tomorrow, Jim? If the Brewers win and you lose, I mean, you're playing the Dodgers. The Brewers are playing the Marlins at home. Is it inconceivable to think the Dodgers win tomorrow and the Brewers win tomorrow? It's your margin's going to get tighter and tighter. I mean, you're going to be playing tighter. Like, this is a night where if you win this game, you're going to the postseason. Clearly. You lose tonight, the Brewers win, and everything is still up in the air. You should feel good about the position you're in. Philadelphia has struggled. Milwaukee is still well behind you, but there's work to be done. And you're not just going to get in because Milwaukee is guaranteed to lose 4 of their last 7 games. In fact, they probably won't do that. They're playing Miami and Arizona.
And here's the thing, too. Even if Bob Melvin did different pitch hitting situations and didn't have Josh Bell there,
guarantee that they win.
It's no guarantee. It's no guarantee that if he hit Alfaro for Grisham there or saved Josh Bell for Grisham's spot and pinching him there that they would have tied the game or even won the game. No guarantees there. But if you're telling me what gives you a better chance to win, it's not Trent Grisham right now.
And by the way, Trent, you got to swing the bat. I mean,
holy fucking shit.
How many times is this going to happen? I mean, dude, you have to swing the bat.
Swing the fucking bat, bro.
And like, here's the thing. When you are 0-1 safety squeezing, you're lost. I'm sorry. This isn't a gimmick. This isn't gimmick time of the season, okay? This isn't gimmick time. And then when you're 0-2 after the bunt, you're screwed, obviously. But you just have to. I'd rather him swing at a pitch 5 feet out of the zone than take a pitch right down the middle. And that's what happened here tonight. Jared, thank you for the super. Thank you guys for the supers. Again, as you make your way in, please subscribe. Jared says, I hope Grisham gets DFA'd because that dude is such a useless waste of effing space. Zokar GIDPs twice, yep. But at least he swings at the effing strikes. And listen, Grisham's not getting designated. And to Jim's point, he's going to be on the postseason roster because what other choice do you have? But he's the last offensive option for Bob Melvin from this point moving forward. And for whatever reason, he's in this game in a big spot. And don't tell me about, well, defensively, it's going to impact them in the 11th inning. I don't care about the 11th inning. Get to the 11th inning. You know what I care about? Extending the game to the 11th inning. I'll worry about it in the 11th inning.
Yeah. In the postseason, you can make things, you know what you could have done? You could have pinch hit for Grisham with whoever else. I'm going to say Alfaro. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? Josh Bell's now your new first baseman. Who did he pinch hit for? Nola?
Yeah.
Okay. Josh Bell's your new first baseman.
And you could put Alfaro a catcher.
And guess who's not in center
field? By the way,
you
could put Will Myers in center field.
Or you can move Will to left and put Profar in center.
Exactly.
There you go.
We figured it out. Wow.
It's fucking hard.
2 seconds. The Jesus. 2 guys that do the wrap-up show, we're able to properly manage the 11th inning. By the way, I could care less about the 11th inning. You have to get to the 11th inning.
Right.
Why are you managing for the 11th inning when you're in the 10th inning? You manage for the 10th inning, not the 11th inning. Doesn't matter.
Especially in the postseason.
I'll put anyone anywhere.
In the postseason, man, you can't do that. You have to manage for the here and now. You got to manage to tie that game up or win or walk it off. I don't give a shit about defensive replacements because you can figure that out like we just did in 20 seconds.
Yeah, and again, they've got bench coaches. I mean, they've got hitting coaches. Like if you and I can figure it out by looking at the stupid box score and seeing who's available and who's playing what position, then the Padres should be able to figure that out as well. This isn't the 16-inning debacle with Tingler, but this was a poorly managed 10th inning. There's not a comparison to what happened.
No, right.
Where that was an embarrassment last year, what happened there.
Yeah, right.
This isn't that, but this is just a poorly managed 10th inning. Vector, thank you for the super. He says, shocked Bob Melvin didn't even give Alfaro a chance. I mean, it is odd. And you're right. Alfaro, truth be told, his year's been fine. He's just had the clutch gene. He's had these huge moments, including last night. Not necessarily with a big hit, but whatever. I mean, bases loaded. He drew the bases loaded walk on that 3-2 pitch. It is surprising. Here's the thing. I'm always one to have, if you're Melvin and you go to the podium and you lose with Alfaro, nobody's going to be like, why'd you go to Alfaro there? No one would ever be like, hey, you chose Alfaro over Grisham. Hey, you chose Bell over Grisham. Nobody would ever say that. But by sticking with Grisham, you're leaving yourself susceptible to second guessing.
Here's Grisham in September His
It's not gonna
slash
be
line,
good.
it's very bad. This is 39 at bats in September. He's hitting
Mhm.
077 with a 163 on base and a 154 slug. I just saw someone post this on Twitter. Erica, she said in 43 at bats before he was DFA'd, Matt Beatty hit 093 with an on base of 170 and a slugging of
So that's
163.
so that's how bad he's been. He's been worse than Matt Beatty, and Matt
Worse
Beatty
than Matt
was
Beatty.
not good.
Fucking
Yeah, it's
shit, dude.
perplexing. I mean, you're kind of wishing and praying it. It's kind of a right. You're hoping for something just because,
Mm-hmm.
but he's got no business right now playing. He's got no business playing. He just doesn't, especially in
No,
meaningful spots.
especially in a situation like that. Like if this
Why
team
did he enter
clinches,
this game?
like if and when this team clinches, like and they clinch the five seed or
Yeah,
whatever,
perfect. Play him every day.
good. Play them every day. Who gives a shit? But in the postseason and in a one run game, especially in extra innings, no fucking way am I putting him anywhere near a batter's box. Sorry.
Yeah, I understand. Like Azokar, the last 2 or 3 games had been, whatever that means, struggling. What is it, 8 or 9 at bats? I forget the circumstances that got Grisham into this game as a pinch hitter before that 10th inning, but I don't know. That's kind of forcing the issue. So what? Azokar's been 0 for 7, 0 for 8, and now Grisham all of a sudden has earned the opportunity to take that spot from him. No, I mean, this is Azokar's to finish it off. I'm more confident with Azokar in that spot, putting bat on ball with a runner on third and 1 out than I am with Trent Grisham, because Trent Grisham is swing and miss constantly.
No, he's not even swing and miss. He's just he watches.
No, he's not even missing. Right.
He's watching. Even you
Good
heard
point.
Mud say, "Bro, you gotta swing the bat."
You have to.
Fuck, dude, that was not. I'm not saying that was a hanger, but it was a breaking ball up in the zone, and you just watched it go right by.
I mean, you're supposed to expand the zone with 2 strikes. Why would you look? What are you looking at? There are very few hitters that are taking called third strikes consistently. In fact, he leads baseball in taking called third strikes.
How do you not make contact there? Runner at third with less than 2 outs. Just
Just
contact.
do anything. I mean, bunt. He's Mr. 2-strike bunt. I mean, anything is better than striking out looking in that. Literally anything.
But again, we blame Trent Grisham there, but he was put in that situation.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't bat himself. It's a good point.
Like this goes back to Bob Melvin. There are times that he, and this is a good thing and it can be a bad thing. He puts a lot on his play. Like he gives a lot of trust to his players, even when they're struggling. That's a good thing, and it's also a bad thing because when he trusts his players so much, he puts them in situations where they probably shouldn't be in. Sometimes they come through, but a lot of times you see what happened tonight. He needs to take the bat out of Trent Grisham's hands. Dude is literally lost at the plate right now. You can't have him in that situation. So I put that on Bob Melvin.
Yeah, I do too. It'll be interesting to see what type of criticism Melvin, has levied his way over the next 24 hours, to be honest, or if he avoids it. I mean, I think it's clear as day. I mean,
this won't hear from anybody but us, honestly.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I think it'll be written about. You'll see if you hear it elsewhere. Jared says this, and thank you again, Jared. He said, "Why did the morons pitch to Freeman in the 10th?" If you know, FFS. It doesn't make sense. I mean, a couple of things. You don't even have to pitch to him before the pass ball. You could just walk him. Okay, now you've set up a force everywhere, first, second, third.
Especially because you got the first out. Like that's the biggest thing.
Right.
If there were no outs,
you got the out, you could just put him on there. Forget about the pass ball.
Yeah.
What are you fearing? The multiple run inning?
Right. Like if there was no outs, you don't walk him. I get that because that's just dumb. Right. But maybe you do. I don't know. But again, with 1 out, runner at third, there is no fucking way I'm pitching to Freddie Freeman. Are you kidding me? You're telling me that Freddie Freeman's not going to make contact
either? I don't know if I'm pitching to him with a runner at second. What's different? Yeah, he's a base hit machine. What's he hitting? What's he hitting this year? Seriously, he's hitting 327 in 2022. Nobody hit 300. It's an amazing year. He's hitting 327.
And it's more or less, I think, what I'm like upset with. Yeah, tonight that 10th inning was just poorly managed. But it kind of scares me a little bit because if this is going to be the stuff that we're going to see in the postseason, that's a little scary to me. Mm-hmm. How if there's a runner on second, or no, excuse me, there's a runner on third with 1 out, and you're facing the Cardinals, and
Yeah, and if Arenado's at the plate and
Arenado's
the
up.
dude on deck is not Goldschmidt or Arenado, you should probably face the other guy.
You should probably
Like,
walk him.
don't get me wrong. Will Smith is a very capable hitter. Okay, he has hurt the
He's
Padres
not
before,
Freddie Freeman.
but exactly, he's just not. He just doesn't get on base at the same clip, and you're
So
playing
that's
percentages.
what kind of is like, I don't like that because that could come back and he might do the same thing. Because Melvin has these tendencies, right? And that's kind of a tendency that's not. I don't like it. You saw Dave Roberts the other night. He's not fucking pitching to Manny. Now he did pitch to Manny, I think.
He did actually, yeah.
And we were like, whoa.
And he struck him out. Yep.
But again, he has nothing to really lose, and he's also shown that he's pitched. He'll walk Soto and Manny, and then just worry about the rest because he did that before.
All right, let's get to another. I'm just looking at Twitter, and it's man, there's a lot of interesting things going on right now. Please subscribe if you're here. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. If you want to make sure we get your comment, you can contribute with that super chat by clicking the $ down below. It's a great way to support this channel. Again, the Padres lose 1-0 to the Dodgers in 10 innings. I mean, very disappointing, to say the least. And the magic number, like Jim said, remains at 4. Alex, thank you for the super. He says, do you guys know who's tomorrow's starter yet? Have we seen that, Jim, as of yet or not? Bob Melvin has spoke with the media. I assume that's out.
I haven't seen it. I don't think Marty's there because she's not tweeting anything out. I haven't seen from Kevin or Dennis.
Yeah, I'm looking as well.
Nope. Last time Kevin tweeted was 7 hours ago. The fuck?
He was there tonight, right?
I would assume. Not taking any days off now, are you?
Steal his computer?
Darnay.
We'll get that to you when we have it.
Also,
I'd be surprised if we didn't see it tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. I do.
So I'm seeing a couple of people. I mean, does anyone think I saw in the chat just as we scroll past Alex, and thank you, Alex. I saw from Sam saying, how is that poorly managed? Is he talking about what we've been talking about, this 10th inning? I mean, again, there's no guarantee. Thank you, Ben, by the way. No starter yet. Again, like you said, there's no guarantee you win the game, but the job of the manager is to put you in a position, the best position to win. Top of the inning, they didn't do that with facing Freeman. Bottom of the inning, they didn't do that by allowing Grisham to bat. So, yeah, I mean, again, you could have won. Like Grisham could hit a 2-run home run. It's baseball. He's hit 17 home runs. Sure, could have. He could have had a bunt for a double. I mean, anything can happen. It's the sport of baseball, you know?
Yeah. Like anything, but it's all about the reason why they made the trade for Juan Soto is give you a better chance of winning the World Series.
Yeah, I think Soto's better than Eric Hosmer, for example.
Who?
I mean, it's just about upgrades and percentages and matchups and leverages and circumstance.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to go you got to kind of take the book out the window or throw the book out the window here and go with okay, this guy literally has not done anything in September. So probably not a good idea to put him in that situation. And we'll worry about who the fucking center fielder is the next inning later if we tie the game.
I missed this, by the way, from Ken. Ken, I apologize. Just skip by it. My bad. We'll get to all the supers if you want to contribute and support this channel. And if you want to weigh in, you click the $ down below. Ken, thank you for support of the channel. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight as well. Padres lose 1-0. He says, bullpen is now absolutely cooked. No bueno. Oh, it's nice to win when you have to use your bullpen like this. We can have that conversation as well. It's like the Spider-Man meme. Snell, 96 pitches to go 5 scoreless. Today, Musgrove goes 106. How many?
7, 5, 3, 2, 1.
Jesus, why can't I see this? Because I've been up for 30
100
straight
plus.
hours.
You want 100 plus.
106. So Musgrove goes 106 to go 5 scoreless innings, but it's 5 scoreless innings, and you're in position. And then nobody goes more than an inning. Hill, Garcia, Martinez, Hader, Steven Wilson, who allows that unearned run in the 10th inning. But it's a fair point. I mean, you've used a lot of your bullpen over these last 2 days. And when you use your bullpen, you want to win. When you get 5 scoreless innings, you want to win, right? This wasn't just, hey, whatever. We'll see if we can steal this game. I mean, this is a game you got to get. When you're tied with the Dodgers in the 9th inning, you got chances to walk off in the 9th. You got a chance to tie the game up in the 10th or win. I mean, it's a game you want to win. And yes, they've used their bullpen a little bit, but guess what? There's a week left in the season. If the guys got to work a little more, if you got to throw an extra outing or two, Hader's going back to back now. It's that time of the year, you know?
Tell you what, though, this probably was the best that Josh Hader's looked.
Oh my gosh, he was great.
I mean, he was pounding the zone. How you doing? Throwing strikes, blowing guys away. He saw it off. Did he break Mookie's bat?
I don't know. You're saying that soft liner to left?
I thought it sounded like he broke his bat.
Maybe.
With like a cutter or something. I don't know. But that was the best that Josh Hader's looked in the Padres uniform, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was what, 10 pitches? 8? 9?
It was good. He was efficient. He was getting ahead. He was throwing strikes. He was throwing 99.
He looked really good. He looked really, really good.
Padres held the Dodgers to 5 hits in this game. Padres held the Dodgers to, stand by. What were they with men in scoring position this game? 1 for 9. They're now 2 for 26 RISP in this series. You should be 2-0. When your opponent's 2 for 26 with men in scoring position, that's a lot of opportunities, but not a lot of hits. You should be 2-0 in this series, and they're not, because the Padres didn't hit with men in scoring position. They were 1 for 10 in this game, and they didn't score at home, which has been a problem.
It's frustrating, man, because you don't want this to be a little bit of a pattern going into the postseason. If this type of stuff happens, I mean, I don't have like the Mets or the Braves line up in front of me. If the Padres are the 5 seed, you'll be facing one of those teams. And it's like, if Austin Riley's at the plate with runner at third with 1 out in the 9th inning, or the extra innings, like, you better not pitch to him. Or like Matt Olson, depending on who's behind Matt Olson. I don't know who would be behind them, but you get my point. Like, if it's so-and-so, or if it's all-star MVP candidate, like, I choose so-and-so. I don't care if you're putting him on. And that's like, it didn't really even hit me until he got the base hit. And I was like, oh, why the fuck did they pitch to him? Made no sense.
Look at this chat, by the way, from Carlos, off topic, but Jim and John's mics are almost aligned. You see how your mic is going like through? I tried to line it up, and I'm not going to get too cute. It's kind of funny.
Hold on.
Can you line it? Look at that. That's amazing. That's amazing.
What? Oh, no,
amazing what you can do on YouTube.
There we go.
So funny. Thank you, Carlos.
If I stick my hand this way. Oh wait, no, it's this way.
And if I put my hand
this way,
high five.
Hold on.
Other way. We're
so stupid. I get all
with the Padres losing a 4-hour game again. And you work at midnight back-to-back nights. Jared, thank you for the super. You need to do this. Sorry about that. Sorry, Ken. Sorry, Jared.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Jared.
you guys. As you know, we're going to get to all the super, so keep them coming. Thank you for your support of this channel. We need to tell you about our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz, by the way, who's in the chat tonight as well. We will do that coming up momentarily. Please support our partners, including our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz, at Farmers Insurance. In fact, while we have a moment, let's do that. If you have insurance needs, you got to get in contact with Mark. Mark is a San Diegan and a huge Padres fan, and he's living and dying on all these games like we are. And he's frustrated, like Padres fans are, based on what happened tonight on field at Petco Park. Very winnable game that got away from the Padres. But if you have insurance needs, auto, home, renter's life, earthquake insurance, Mark's your guy. Simple as that. He can save you $750. Please support a local business that does business with us. Please support a San Diego-based business if you are in San Diego and you have insurance needs. And he can save you $750 on your insurance. I have my homeowners and my earthquake through Mark. Trust me when I tell you he's an outstanding, excellent insurance agent. He's got great service and communication. We had a claim within months of me switching over my insurance to Mark, and he took care of everything. Made it simple, saved us literally thousands of dollars. So if you have auto, home, renter's life, or earthquake insurance needs, and you're looking for more information, get to Mark's website. There's a link down below. You can get a quote online. You get all the information you need. He'll get you everything you need on insurance. He'll talk to you about the Padres as well. If you support this channel, please support our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance.
Yeah, all his information's above my head. Nimitz at farmersagent.com. When you reach out to him, let him know that John and Jim from the Wrap-Up Show sent you.
All right, so Dodgers 1, Padres nothing. Series finale is tomorrow at 6:40. It is a night game. I do want to play Melvin, Jim, at some point here this evening because I don't know what he said, but I'd like to hear what he had to say.
You think Bally Sports will actually like release the video?
I think they typically do.
Tell you what, though, I don't know if I said it the other night. Did I say that if and when this team clinches, good fucking luck trying to censor these guys?
Like, good point. Yeah.
Come on. Talk about good soft. Point.
I mean, the worst case scenario obviously is, well, the worst case scenario. That's why they have a magic number. But beyond the worst case scenario is having to use like a Darvish the final day or two, or having to use a Snell, and I don't even know how it lines up, the final day or two or three. Like that's what you're trying to avoid,
dude.
And you could have avoided that by winning here tonight, potentially. What do you have?
I don't have the video yet, but I just read AJ Casavel's tweet because Melvin was asked about Freddie Freeman. And AJ said, Padres pitched to Freeman in short because Bob Melvin did not want to put Freeman aboard and leave open the possibility of a big inning. If Freeman played that run, Melvin was okay with it, knowing he'd have a man on second in the bottom of the 10th inning. Quote, it's our job to come back and score, Melvin said.
The crazy thing is, Jim, I mean, I kind of, I don't get, quote unquote, like allowing the run or being okay with the run to score.
I don't like
that. But I
either.
do understand that if you allow a run, there's at least a shot, a decent shot, you can get it back. If you allow 2 runs, it's a lot harder because now you got to, right? I mean, you don't have that run 180 feet away. But that it makes no sense. I mean, come on. No, this is a playoff game. You're not trading runs. You're not trying to trade runs in the 10th inning because why would you be playing for the 11th inning? At some point, you need to win the baseball game.
Right.
So try to win the game in the 10th inning. I mean, put Freeman on there. Don't get too cute. Don't outthink the room. Put Freeman on. And by the way, if you don't want to face Will Smith, put Will Smith on. I'd prefer bases loaded, 1 out in that spot than facing Freeman with 2 bases open and a runner at third. Just I understand it. I honestly do in this stupid modern baseball with the runner at second, and some of the rules have changed. Listen, you can get the run back. You got a guy at second too. It's not impossible to score a run with a runner at second. You have a 50% chance of doing it, probably on average, maybe more. But I think that you're asking for trouble with Freddie Freeman in that spot.
If it were me, and you're asking me who do you want to pitch? Who do you want to pitch against? Do you want to pitch against Freddie Freeman, who's going to win the National League batting title? He's a former MVP, one of the best players in baseball. Or do you want to pitch to Will Smith, who's a good player as well, right? But I'm sorry, I'm choosing Will Smith. I mean, even if you pitch to Freeman there, kind of feeling in your gut, he's going to get on here, he's going to get a hit, and they're going to score a run. Okay, well, they scored a run. You're down 1-0, and you still have 1 out, and you have a runner on first. And if you don't pitch to Freeman, well, guess what? They have no runs, and they still have a runner at first. Now they have a runner at third, but like the point is to make sure they don't score runs.
Well, the question now is, so if tomorrow you'd be pitching Darvish on normal rest, is that right? If you went to Darvish tomorrow, he'd be on normal rest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because they just had an off day, so I think he'd have to be on normal rest. Now, you could also throw Manaea and push Darvish back, but why would you throw Manaea? Why on earth would you throw Manaea?
Automatic bell.
When you need to still get into the postseason, you can't afford to just roll dice against the Dodgers in Game 3 in a game that you got to win. Not a must win, but you got to win.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think there's really only one choice. Assuming Darvish is on normal rest, which I believe he is, how could you pitch anyone other than you, Darvish? This is the problem with that philosophy, Jim, in that 10th inning. If your philosophy is to play to win in the 10th inning and you come out with a win, then you can pitch Sean Manaea tomorrow because you've lowered your magic number down to 3. And maybe you can get cute, although you're not trying to throw anything away. But at 4, now you can't get cute because if you lose again tomorrow and the Brewers win tomorrow against the Marlins, all of a sudden it's too close for comfort. So I think because of that, because you lost tonight, I can't pitch Sean Manaea tomorrow. I mean, what's going to happen if Sean Manaea pitches tomorrow? You think you're going to win that game? What are the odds of you winning that game? You're going to be plus 260 at home if Sean Manaea pitches tomorrow.
Leon makes a really good point. It wasn't like we had Soto or Manny coming up in the bottom of the inning as well. So that it's a great point. If Soto and Manny are coming up in the bottom of the 10th, then yeah, you roll the dice a little bit there. You roll the dice because guess what? Next inning you're starting with a runner at second with Soto and Manny up. Okay, I take my chances.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom half of the inning, you had Nola, Kim, and Grisham. Okay.
It's interesting. No, I'm with you. And Leon, that's a good point. By the way, Eddie says we're overreacting because it's one game against the Dodgers. Even if we lose tomorrow, we're still good. I mean, are we sure?
Uh,
I mean,
yeah. Well,
this is
I'm not.
nitty gritty time. We're
I'm
sure.
more overreacting to these decisions that were made by Bob Melvin tonight because I'm afraid that of the decisions he could make in the postseason, just like he did tonight.
I'm more
I'm not.
concerned about. I'm more concerned. No, I differ from you. I'm concerned about getting in. You still have to
Yeah.
get in. It's not a formality. It's not a guarantee. You
Right.
can. It's possible you just get in because the Phillies lose some games and the Brewers lose some games. Absolutely, absolutely,
Right.
but not a guarantee.
No, you're
Not a
right.
guarantee at all.
You're right.
Jake, thank you again for your support and your super and your membership as well. He says Nola's pass ball changed the entire game, but
Can we get some catches
Jake,
that can catch the fucking ball,
I know it's
please?
happened in crucial spots the last 2 days, but I would say
I
this,
mean,
Jay,
Jesus,
but they're
dude.
still facing, without the pass ball, if you're facing Freeman there and he
Still
loops
walk
the
them.
ball into center field, it's a run.
That's the scoring.
Boogie Bats, yeah, he's scoring.
Yeah, I just don't understand it, and I hope that's not going to be a situation in the postseason where Melvin says, and guess what? In the postseason, you don't get a runner at second base,
Right.
so you got maybe he does make a different decision in the postseason because they don't get the luxury of having someone start at second base. You'd hope,
Mm-hmm.
you hope that happens, but tonight I personally think it was a bad decision. I know Bob Melvin knows more about baseball than I'll ever know in my entire life. I understand that. Everyone in that dugout knows more than baseball than me. But I just think that was a bad decision.
Yeah, I mean, there have been some moments this year where he has made poor decisions. And by the way, almost every manager, maybe they all do. 162 games is a lot. I mean, it's very exposing. Okay, there's a lot of sequences, there's a lot of innings, there's a lot of moments, there's a lot of matchups. It happens. I would just say at this juncture of the season, with so few games remaining, it can't happen tonight. It just can't. We'd be killing Jay Stingler tonight, and we're not killing Bob Melvin, but we're making it clear that, in our opinion, Bob Melvin poorly managed the 10th inning and was outmanaged essentially because only one manager is being questioned for the decisions he made in the 10th inning tonight, and that's Bob Melvin in a 1-0 loss.
So AJ Casville just tweeted out this again. He said the Padres still haven't announced tomorrow's starter. But if it's not you, Darvish, they'll have boxed themselves into a corner where if they need 2 starts from Darvish to clinch, then he wouldn't be available for a wild card series start unless he were to pitch on short rest.
Okay, so read that to me one more time, Jim.
He said Padres still haven't announced a starter for tomorrow.
Okay.
But if it's not you, Darvish, tomorrow, they'll have boxed themselves into a corner where if they need 2 starts from Darvish to clinch, which would be, I guess, next couple days and then one of the final days of the year, then he wouldn't be available for a wild card series unless he were to pitch on short rest.
Okay, if he pitches tomorrow, walk me through this, Jim. There's 7 games. Tomorrow's the 7th to final game, okay? So if he pitches in the 7th to final, just hear me out. Okay, tomorrow's a Thursday, right? Then he's in line to pitch, let's do the days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, on a Tuesday. So he's going Thursday to Tuesday. He'd then be on full rest for the wild card round on, let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, game 3. So even if he goes tomorrow, you can't guarantee he pitches in the wild card round if you need him to pitch again in the regular season anyway.
What I think they might be discussing here is pitching Darvish Saturday, because then you set up for an extra day of rest going into game 1. Now, to also the point of, well, they still got to fucking clinch first. And Darvish is your best pitcher, and you need him to help you clinch.
You can't pitch him Saturday. I'll tell you why. Because you can't get 2 regular season starts out of him.
I know. That's what I mean.
So you have to pitch him either Thursday or Friday because you have to leave open the possibility if you need him to pitch him again in the regular season. If you need him, you have to have that possibility.
Okay, so then you pitch him right. You pitch him
Thursday or Friday.
Thursday or Friday, and
But it
then
should be Thursday because if it's Friday, you're now pushing him back an additional day for the wild card round.
I'm pitching him tomorrow. I'm pitching him
Why
tomorrow.
wouldn't don't outthink the room here? Why would
No,
you not pitch Yu Darvish on normal rest tomorrow? Give me any real legitimate reason to pitch Sean Manaea tomorrow over Yu Darvish. Give me for the
none.
chat
I
and
got
for
none.
Jim. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, it's foolishness. I mean,
Right.
if I'm the Dodgers, I can go to sleep easy tonight knowing I'm facing Yu Darvish. I would spend all my time on that. I wouldn't even concern myself with Sean Manaea because he's not. If he pitches tomorrow, that's foolishness, and that doesn't make any sense to me unless it's late
So,
and we work 24 hours a day, but that doesn't make any sense.
all right, so let's talk this through. So if Darvish pitches tomorrow and they don't clinch by the final day of the regular season, which would be really bad, then he pitches the final day of the regular season, correct?
No, he wouldn't. He'd pitch the second
Friday,
to final
Saturday,
day.
Sunday, Monday. Okay, so he pitched Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. But here's the thing. You'd still prefer not to pitch him Tuesday. So the goal then becomes do everything in your power to have clinched by Monday. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't pitch him Tuesday, you just give him the additional 3 days to Friday. And now he's on 8 or 9 days rest. Or maybe you give him an inning or a bullpen, but that's the plan. If you pitch him tomorrow, you do everything in your power over the next 5 days before he's due to pitch again to clinch. If you have not clinched by the second to final day of the regular season, he's starting in essentially a must-win game because there's 2 days left in your season and you still have a magic number. So I'm pitching him tomorrow. I'm doing everything in my power to get that magic number to 0 by the end of the Monday game against the San Francisco Giants. If I have not accomplished that, then I've lost a little bit even heading into the wild card because now I'm using Yu Darvish and he's going to be unavailable at least for the first game, if not for the second game. And of course, he'd be available for the third game, but it's problematic. It's like it's of utmost importance to finish this thing off by Monday night, in my opinion.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, just because of the Darvish factor, the Snell factor. I don't even know where Snell is in that, but you have to have these pitchers available to you for games 1 and 2 in the postseason to give yourself a legitimate shot to win on the road in a 3-game series, I would think.
Yeah, because Snell pitched yesterday, so today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He pitched Sunday. He'd be game 2, or he'd even be game 1.
He'd be on full
Monday,
rest for
Tuesday,
game
Wednesday,
1.
Thursday. So he could be like a backup game 1 starter.
Wait, well, hold on. He pitched on what day, Jim? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yesterday.
Tuesday.
Today's
So
Wednesday. Today's
Thursday,
Wednesday.
Friday, Saturday. Right. So he's normal rest Sunday. Right. So I'm pitching Blake Snell on Sunday, unless I've somehow clinched by Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I still may.
I'm still pitching on Sunday.
Right.
If you clinch by Saturday, you give him an extra day to pitch game 2. So Snell's fine. I think we can agree. Snell is good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's pitching at least one more day. Musgrove, I think, lines up for game 3, correct?
So Musgrove started today on a Wednesday. No, he pitched today.
I know. Okay. So he pitches Monday. Yeah. So he pitched Monday. So he'd also be lined up. So Monday. He'd also be lined up for game 2.
Right. Or 3.
But you get my point. Is like Darvish is the only guy here that's a little tricky if you're trying to line him up for game 1.
Right now,
or
if
you
I'm
have
AJ
Blake Snell start
Preller,
game 1.
True. But
Which
if
I
I'm
think
AJ
people would
Preller
be
right
fine
now,
with.
yes. But if you're AJ Preller right now, I'm less thinking lining up my rotation for game 1 and more thinking about getting this magic number to 0 and getting in. And the best way, in my opinion, to do that is to pitch Darvish tomorrow.
I agree with that 100%. But also, you got to think about every situation, John. You have to think about everything. You can't just be like, screw it, we're not going to talk about the rotation in the postseason until we clinch. Like, they need to be talking about that. They need to be lining things up. And they need to also make sure they're doing what's best for the team to help them clinch right now.
Right, but you can't get – I completely agree. We're on the same page. I would just say this. Don't get so cute where you're pitching Sean Manaea.
So pitch
in a regular season because you think – what are we doing? I mean, Sean Manaea has been exposed in the second half of the year. The guy might bounce back in 2023 somewhere. He's been a solid major league pitcher. It's not an indictment on Sean Manaea. It's just been a really bad 3 months.
Especially against the Dodgers, dude.
And you're
Don't
pitching them
do
against
it.
the Dodgers. And what happens if for the first time in the series you go down 4 runs and you're screwed. So nobody wants to see him go down 3-0 in the first inning. So I'm pitching you Darvish, who's giving this team as good of a chance as anyone to win baseball games this year. And hopefully you can win, and hopefully you can get this offense going, and hopefully you can back them. Because tonight, offensively, you had Manny Machado, you had Austin Nola, and then, Kim 0 for 4, Soto 0 for 4, a lot, Cronenworth 0 for 4, Zokar Grisham combining to go 0 for 4. Now, Dodgers only had 5 hits. Don't get me wrong, but you can't get shut out at home in 10 innings. I'm sorry, you just can't.
And then now this is the exact thing that's happened in the last 3 series, right? You win game 1 against the Dodgers.
Yes, you're right.
Now you don't get your ass kicked game 2.
No, this was super competitive, very winnable.
Right, 100%. But you go into a final game of a series versus the Dodgers, and it's like, can we fucking win one? Can we win one series versus them this year? Just one. That's all I'm asking. Can they win one series? One.
I know.
And if you decide that you're going to pitch Sean Manaea tomorrow, then you have just said, fuck that. We don't care about.
Well, this is like 2020 when you were in 2020, they shifted everything around late in the season and basically punted on the division.
Destroyed them for it.
But this is even more egregious.
That was pretty bad too, though.
Way more egregious.
I mean, that was the ultimate white flag game, John. I don't know. It was the ultimate white flag game. I don't think tomorrow, if they pitch Manaea as the ultimate white flag, because they're still going to have the regular lineup out there. I don't even think they had the regular lineup in 2020. I think they pitched like Reese Kinnear and then went straight to the bullpen after an inning. Now they might do that tomorrow if they pitch Sean Manaea, because Sean Manaea might get lit. But it's also another point here, John, is you've taxed your bullpen the last 2 days. How do you even consider pitching anyone else besides you, Darvish, tomorrow? A guy that can eat you innings. And if they go with Sean Manaea tomorrow, holy shit, I don't know, man.
Right, because if he goes 3 innings, 4 innings, now you're asking your bullpen to cover another 6 innings.
And you don't have any off days here until next Thursday. And guess what? If you don't take care of business next Thursday, you'll be in Cabo.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, listen, is there anything? There's one really good thing that happened tonight. Do you know what that is? An excellent thing.
Besides Josh Hader?
There's an amazing thing that happened tonight.
Was it
vastly important
that the starter only went 5 innings?
The Phillies lost. Phillies got to pass you too. It's not just Milwaukee that has to pass you. The Phillies and the Brewers have to pass you. Now, Milwaukee's still a half game behind the Phillies, but if the Phillies go in the tank, we'll take it. I mean, I'm not going to kick it out of bed, but the Phillies lost a game. You didn't lower your magic number, but you did against Philadelphia. And if Philadelphia doesn't play good baseball down the stretch, and by the way, Bryce Harper hasn't played well, you just lost consecutive games against the Cubs with your season on the line. So they don't
go home. They remain on the road, right?
Stay on the road. Now it's the Nationals, I want to say, but Nationals got nothing to lose. And then it's Houston. And Houston might not have anything to play for, but I don't think Houston rolls over for anyone.
Well, Dusty did say that no matter what, the final day of the year, he's resting all of his starters.
Imagine that. Philadelphia just needs that to get in, then they lose to a Houston team.
He's playing they're probably going to call up some guys from AAA or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah. Again, just go win games. You can't rely on the Phillies losing to the Cubs and the Brewers losing at home to the Marlins. You can't rely on it. You just cannot. I mean, Brewers aren't the greatest team in baseball history, but there have been a stretch or two here, Jim, down the stretch where they've gone like 5-1 over a 6-game period, or 5-2. Okay, I do want to remind you about our partner Aura, ORA.organic. You can get 30% off your first order by clicking this Build Your Routine button in the bottom right-hand corner. Aura is a great company. Their co-founder, Will, is a San Diegan and a huge Padres fan. They've got offices in Liberty Station. This is a great company. All plant-based nutritional products, probiotics. I take one every single day. Trust me, it is a great product. I take it for digestion, mental health. Who knows what I take it for, but I take it for everything. It is a great product. So Get the probiotic. Everyone could use one. They have proteins for after workouts, which are great. They have pre-workout supplements, omega-3 oils, and immunity pills, and sleep supplements. I mean, literally something for everyone. Yourself, your spouse, your family, your friends. 30% off your first order. You're supporting a local business that does business with us. Easy website to get to. There's a link down below as well. It's ora.organic. Aura, 30% off your first order. And thank you, Will, for your support of the wrap-up show.
Yeah, go there right now, www.aura.organic. We were texting with Will tonight. I'm sure he's bummed that they lost the game, but to make him feel better, go to Aura, buy some products, buy the Work It Powerful Plant-Based Nutrition Protein Powder on the front screen there. They got 3 flavors, vanilla, chocolate, and unflavored. So when you build your routine, put that in there, get 30% off your first order. You'll thank us later.
So the idea here from T. Kelly of kind of punt on it because Darvish, I mean, it's an interesting concept here. Anyone has a better chance of beating a team other than the Dodgers. Therefore, let me throw my best pitcher against anyone but the Dodgers because he's got a better chance of beating anyone but the Dodgers. Does that make sense? Like, don't pitch him because he's got a better chance to beat the White Sox. And don't waste them, so to speak, against a team with 107 wins.
Yeah, I understand that.
I think I got to pitch him here because then I can pitch him the second to final day of the regular season. I line him up closer to the start of the wild card round. I think I got to pitch him tomorrow. Because I can't pitch Sean Manaea.
No, sorry, Sean. The next time that you should be pitching is like a game that doesn't matter. I don't know.
What are they going to do, though? Because without the off days, eventually they're going to have to shorten up. They're going to go on 3 days rest to keep this rotation intact because you can't play the next 7 days without pitching Sean Manaea as a starter.
Yeah.
So you're going to pitch Manaea against the White Sox?
Well, guess what? This is why they're paid. This is why they're paid to do their job. And we're here to second guess them and criticize them if we don't like it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Thank you, Ewokis. Is that how you would pronounce that?
That's nice. Thank you, man.
Ewokis? Thank you, Ewokis.
Like Jabberwockies?
I like that.
Yeah.
Then Dom says we can pitch Manaea against anyone but the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that too. There is that too. While we have a moment, do want to remind you about Omar Sanchez at Edge Home Finance. Make sure to check him out at loansbyomar.com. Again, brand new website, loansbyomar.com. He's got everything you need. If you're a Padres fan and you have any mortgage needs, you got to get in contact with Omar Sanchez. He's got a brand new website, loansbyomar.com. You can scan the QR code right now on the screen, or you can text Omar literally anytime. He's available to you, including right now. 619-387-7798. He's your San Diego native mortgage broker. And if you're looking to buy your dream home or refinance to consolidate debt, if you're in the process of buying or refinancing and you want a second opinion to make sure you're getting the best deal possible, just call or text Omar. You're going to get a free consultation. Again, loansbyomar.com. Click the education tab. You'll get all the resources you need for first-time home buyers, refinancing, anything you need. So if you want to support another local business, Omar is a native San Diegan, went to San Diego State, is a huge Padres fan. If you want to support a local business that does business with the wrap-up show, please support Omar Sanchez at Edge Home Finance.
Yeah, text them right now, 619-387-7798, or text them whenever you want. And when you do, let them know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
All right, so thank you again to Omar Sanchez. Again, disappointing night for the Padres. Losing 1-0. We'll have this for you. Obviously, we'll cover it tomorrow at 3 p.m. We'll play some of the sound for you on John and Jim. Please join us on San Diego Sports 760. I know Jeremiah just posted, Marty posted videos of the interviews. We'll have it for you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you really? I don't know how you defend this. I mean, I heard the quote you read. Hey, we can live with giving up a run there because we can get a run back. But then what are you playing for? You're going to win it then in the what inning?
13th? Yeah.
Right there. At what point you just try to win the game? So, yeah, I don't fully understand it. I don't get facing Freeman. I don't get batting Grisham. There's a lot that I don't get.
If you were to rank like the decisions in that 10th inning with the pinch hitting of Josh Bell there, not pinch hitting for Trent Grisham, and then not walking Freeman there. What's the worst one of the night?
Well, it's probably the top of the inning, because the top of the inning is where you're trying to get to the bottom of the inning still tied. So what gives you the best chance to remain still tied? Probably not pitching to Freddie Freeman. Now, what gives you the best chance to allow more than one run? Well, yeah, putting more men on base, obviously. But I think it's a risk-reward proposition in that spot. The risk of allowing multiple runs is worth the reward of getting out of it unscathed by not facing Freddie Freeman. So I think facing Freeman was probably as egregious as batting Trent Grisham. But you could say Trent Grisham because we watch him every single day and the guy just can't hit.
Yeah, I would probably go number one. Most egregious would be the decision to not pinch hit for Trent Grisham, and then pitching to Freeman, and then the pinch hitting for Josh Bell there. I don't really mind, like, I don't mind the pinch hitting for him there, but the fact that you didn't pinch for Trent Grisham, it made me think to myself, like, you could have pinch hit Josh Bell there instead. And if you if you pinch hit Josh Bell there, okay, you lost a catcher. But guess what? You pinch hit Alfaro for Grisham, you just gained a catcher. And if you're worried about center field, you just move Myers out there and you move Profar to center. Like, you can make multiple moves there.
So okay, let's say you pinch hit Bell there with the runner at third for Grisham.
I mean, I don't really have much faith in Bell either, but I have more faith in him than.
If you're the Dodgers, you put Bell on as opposed to Grisham. You're not putting Grisham on because he can't hit. But would you put Bell on to set up a double play ball for Kim? Not that it matters. It's not the end of the world if you do that. I'm just kind of I don't know if you do that because then you're putting the winning run on.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that. You wouldn't put the winning run on.
Yeah, it was dumb decisions. I mean, there's no way these were great decisions. I mean, at least one of them was. They should all be second guessed. They really should. I mean, why wouldn't you second guess these decisions? This is clear as day stuff. This is clear as day. Freddie Freeman's hitting 330. Why would you pitch to him in that spot? Trent Grisham's hitting 180. Why is he batting in that spot? Why is he bunting with one strike? What's he trying to accomplish there?
I don't really want to listen to this Bob Melvin interview, but Jeremiah says in his interview, if Freeman walked, then he would have stole second, and then you'd have two in scoring position. Is that what he said, Jeremiah?
Okay, we might have to pull it up.
Because what? How many stolen bases does Freddie Freeman have this year?
I'm thinking the exact same thing, and I'm looking, and it can't be more than like 8. He's got 12.
Okay.
Which is a decent number, obviously.
So then you're going to then you're just saying, guess what? We can't throw anybody out.
Why? Because because our catcher's terrible, right?
Yeah, that's what you just said. You can't throw anybody out or catcher suck.
Man, that's not really on the manager. I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it. I mean, that's easy to say. But also, if Freeman attempts to steal second and is caught, maybe there's only 1 in 10 chance you've run yourself out of the inning.
So what the? Okay, hold on.
Did he say that?
I don't know.
Do you have this from Bally Sports or not? We'll play the 2 minutes if we have.
I have it from Marty. I have it from Marty.
Okay, grab it from Marty, and we can thank Marty. Robert, thank you for the super. He says, put Minaya in the pen and let Martinez start. It's too late, I think, for that, right? I mean, Martinez is not built up anymore. He just isn't. All right, so this is from our co-worker, Marty Caswell, on San Diego Sports 760.
Pitching all the way around by both teams. 2 really well-pitched games, a lot of pitchers in the game, a lot of pitchers game through. You know, even Steven Wilson makes a good pitch to Freeman. It's a bloop hit. So it was all about the pitching today. They just snuck one across and we couldn't.
Speaking of Freeman, is there any consideration not to pitch him in the 10th inning?
Well, if you don't, and, you know, he gets on first, you got Betts on second, he steals second, and now you're dealing with a second run. So you almost expect at times in the middle of the order that they might score a run. It's our job to come back and score one ourselves. But Steven made a good pitch to him. It was a bloop.
You give them the credit. It looked like in the first inning, Joe made some really good pitches that they just fouled off or did.
That's what they do. A lot of those guys do. They foul pitches off, and same thing with Blake. You know, the night before, they spoil a lot of pitches. They don't chase. They make you throw it over the plate, and they get themselves in good counts. But we pitched well enough tonight. We gave up 1 run in 10 innings. most times you're going to win that game.
How important would it be to take a series from the Dodgers or to not lose another one?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's just about right now. It's just about as many games as we can put on our side of the ledger. So, I mean, yeah, it'd be great to come out and win a game tomorrow, but it's going to be the same the next day and the same the next day.
Any thoughts of letting Nola hit for himself the way he's going and saving Bell maybe for Grish?
No, I like to first guy up, left-handed hitter, trying to get him over and or get him in. No, I was comfortable with what I did, or I would have done it differently.
What is it going to take to get Grish going at the plate? Because he's been through it lately.
We need to get him going. Our best team has Grish in there. So, you look at some of the production, some of the, games he's had this year, walk-off games, big homers for us. He's had to sit and watch for a little bit. Hopefully that makes him a little bit more hungry. A couple good games in a row is what we need from him because our best team has him in it.
Is this the best you've seen Hader tonight? What he did?
I think really since the Giant game, he came in and got that save. He's looked good ever since, and it seems like he's getting better every time out. So he had to face the same exact guys that he did last night. Came in today as he did last night, and it was really good again.
I mean, Jim, this point from Navin is a very good one. So if Betts is already a third after this pass ball, even if he's at second because of his speed, a double steal isn't outside of the realm. But first and third, you can't throw down. He's right. I mean, you can if you got a competent catcher. If you've got Molina, then you can. There's that threat, but there's no threat you're throwing through with Betts on third. You're asking for trouble. I mean, he could score easily if you throw through. And if you do throw through, you're not going to throw out Freddie Freeman. So they'll probably just let him take the base to some extent. That's a damned if you do spot, right? First and third with Betts at third. You're throwing through in a scoreless game in the 10th inning?
No.
Right. I mean, that's Mookie Betts at third.
All right. So it just proves my point. Bob Melvin knows more about baseball than I
but
will
there's
ever know.
another. But that doesn't get him off the hook. I mean, if you're really trying to spin a zero in that spot, if you really wanted to spin a zero in that spot, you could load the bases. I mean, that's unconventional, I guess. You say, well, why would you load the bases? Base hit, 2-run score. But I mean, you're really content with you're really content with giving up a run in that spot just because you're so comfortable you're going to get one back against them in the bottom of the inning. That to me is just a little wishful of thinking. And then Grisham batting for himself there, you're also asking for trouble if he doesn't come through, which he didn't again. So, I mean, it's a fair point. I mean, it's hard to disagree with that.
So, like, you can talk your way through the scenarios with Freddie Freeman. I probably still would have walked him. Okay. Someone might have told me, well, he's just going to steal second, but that at least after 58 minutes of us talking here, we've talked through it and it's a talk through thing. And you just got to talk your way into all these scenarios. There is no fucking scenario that you could talk to me through with Trent Grisham batting in that situation. Fucking zero.
Right.
So that to me is the thing of the night that makes no fucking sense.
Real quick, and I know it's late, but I want Eddie, can you follow up on this? If you're saying this isn't Little League, John, if you're talking about throwing down to second and hey, in the Little League or in high school, obviously the run's going to score. I mean, I'm telling you, Eddie, that's a tough execution play. In the big leagues, a lot of times catchers eat that ball and do not throw down when you got a winning run at third base. I mean, what are you going to –
Not this team.
What's your play here? I think the only possible way to go home to second, second to home to catch Betts is the throw. The first throw has to be cut in front of second. That's the only way to throw out Mookie Betts at home plate with Austin Nola or whoever the hell is behind home plate. Austin Nola throws out 8% of would-be base stealers.
8% is a lot.
That's a terrible percentage. But Eddie said, no, Eddie, yeah, cut the ball and throw home is not the greatest.
That's not a skill.
Maybe. I mean, I get it. Listen, but it's Mookie Betts. Guy can flat out run. I mean, you got to have a well executed play to cut
Mookie
and
Betts
throw.
is one of the smartest base runners in all of baseball.
So here's what happens in that situation, though, Eddie. If the ball's cut off and Betts doesn't run at second and third, and if he does run, there's a chance he scores.
That's fine. Whatever. We can talk through this.
I know. We'll talk
all
about
night
tomorrow on
long.
the radio.
But
He's
again,
been great.
We'll do it tomorrow. We'll talk through it again. But the only thing of tonight that was inexcusable by any measure, and you can never talk through it, is why the fuck was Trent Grisham batting? That's it.
Correct. And Rich, there ain't no 2-1-2. No, it's not being cut by the pitcher. They wouldn't have had
No,
that.
you're not
The
doing
pitcher
that.
ain't cutting off the throw. It's got to come from short or second. And I don't know. Do I trust the Padres to execute that against Mookie Betts and the Dodgers?
No.
Not necessarily, if I'm being honest. But what a night. Padres lose 1-0. Before we get out of here, we do want to remind you we have a podcast. We're the official podcast of FriersOnBase.com. We do thank Eric Lanier for his support of our podcast and our channel. Presented by Higher Impact Financial. Eric runs it. HigherImpactFinancial.com. He is a San Diegan. He is a huge Padres fan. Are you wondering if you're financially strong enough to leave your corporate job and start your own business? Are you tired of being surprised by how many taxes you owe every year? If that's you, don't wait to give Eric at Higher Impact Financial a call. Along with that, Eric can help make sure your family is protected by helping you get a trust established. The first 5 Padres fans that call to get a trust done by Eric's firm will get $200 off. $200 off. So give him a call, 951-383-3033 to schedule your first meeting. Even if you just want to talk Padres baseball during this playoff push, Eric would love to talk Padres with you as well as your finance needs. HigherImpactFinancial.com. Advisory services are offered through WealthTech Partners, a registered investment advisor that only conducts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded from registration requirements. Past performance is not indicative of future results. See the Padres for that. Investing involves risk and possible loss of principal capital. Thank you, Eric. Please support Eric and our partners, Eric Lanier at Higher Impact Financial. This is a pretty fun inside baseball night of discussion, to be honest. I'd rather them win it and have these conversations, but there is some nuance here and there are some levels to discuss, and we will tomorrow on the radio. Please join us, by the way, 3 to 6, San Diego Sports 760. Who's joining us? Chelsea Janes, Washington Post, who was all over Juan Soto potentially being dealt before he was dealt. Chelsea Janes will join us tomorrow on the radio as well. Support our partners, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. He can save you $750 on your insurance. He's our title sponsor. There's a link down below for his website, Auto, Home, Renters, Life, and Earthquake Insurance. Aura, ORA.organic. 30% off your first order. There's a link down below for that as well. Thank you, Will, for your support. And also Omar Sanchez, loansbyomar.com. If you have mortgage needs, Omar is your guy. He's a San Diegan as well. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, everyone. Thank you guys for hanging out. Live or on replay. Back tomorrow night for Game 3. Back tomorrow on the radio, 3 to 6, San Diego Sports 760. For Jim, I'm John. Padres lose 1-0. Magic number still 4. We'll see you tomorrow on the radio and on YouTube.